Hi, I'm Sid and welcome to my YouTube channel, All Things AI. Today we will be discussing about the very basics getting started part of our AI journey. So here we were going to discuss about installation of Anaconda and familiarizing yourself with the Conda environments, managing the environments and installation of the packages that we... So without any further ado, let's dive into it. So to get started, we will require Anaconda and I will show you how to install it. So I have this link, I will put it in the description. You can check it out. Go here and just click on the download, and here it will ask you something. You can ignore it and it started downloading. I have already downloaded it, and you can... So here we have our installation file. You can just go through the prompts and be sure to add the path of your Anaconda or Python in your system variables. That is an important part. There is an option, you can just choose that option and it will directly add it. It says it's not recommended, but it works for me all the time, so you can just go ahead with it. If not, then you can just Google around the things that are required to add it to the path. Okay, moving on. Now we can just search for Anaconda prompt, and now you can see it is base. Okay, so this is our environment, and this environment, if you do Python, excuse me, if you do Python, you can see I have Python 3.8.8 for my base environment. So this comes preloaded with the Anaconda, so you really don't have any choice, like it will provide you with 3.8.8. now we will be discussing about creating virtual environments. So just to check how many virtual environments I have, I can just type conda conda info envs. So you can see right now it's pointing to base, but I have two more environments, CV research. So suppose I want to create another environment. Let me name it as let me name that environment as a test. Okay, so conda create -n test, and what you can do here is you can specify which Python you want. By Python is equal to 3. I'll go with 3.9. so conda create -n test Python is equal to 3.9. Then it'll ask if you want to do, yeah, I want to install. So here you can specify Python, and that's a really neat trick, because sometimes you will find some problems regarding the version number of packages, like there is an interdependency of packages, and that might be a conflicting factor for lower versions of Python. So that's a long topic, we can talk about it later. Okay, now our environment has been created. Now how do I switch to that environment? I do conda activate and our environment name. So our environment name was test, and as you can see, the base has now become test. So now you would want to know what kind of packages or what are the versions of the packages that are there in this environment, this test environment. So we can do that by doing pip freeze, and we don't have much here. Okay, or you can do conda list. Yeah, so these are the things that are there in your in this test environment. So now let's talk about installing packages. So now you're in test environment, you can directly do pip install any package name. For example, numpy pandas are like the basics, you have to install them. And also you can do that by just you can, instead of doing pip install numpy, pip install pandas, you can directly do this pip install numpy space pandas space matplotlib. Okay, OpenCV. So yeah, if you are going for an OpenCV track, then you might need like computer vision track, you might need OpenCV. But you are going for NLP, then you may not need OpenCV. So it's really a good practice to keep your environments separate when working on different projects. So for example, if I'm working on project A, it is better to create an environment for that project, and whenever I'm doing some changes or working on that project, you should always be in that specific environment that was created for that project. This helps in defeating many dependency issues. Whenever there is an dependency issue, like you want to use a new package and it is not compatible with it, then it might affect other projects if they are in the same environment, right? So it is better to use different environments for different projects. Okay, so we can do this pip install these things, and it's going to download it for you and install it in the test environment. Alright, so now suppose I want to switch to another environment. What we can do is to activate another environment. Suppose I had another environment research, and do this activate research, and now I am in the research environment. And if you see, it has different set of packages installed already. Yeah, there are many things that will be installed. You don't need to install many of these things. Just install numpy, pandas, matplotlib, tensorflow. These dependencies that it has, it will automatically download. I would recommend you also install tqdm, which is kind of like a progress bar when you're trying to go over a for loop. So this is a neat way to represent the progress. One tip that I would like to give you is, whenever you're opening a Jupyter notebook for a particular project, I suggest you open it from the Anaconda prompt in the same environment. There is another method where you can just change the kernel, but for me it has failed so many times that I would not suggest it for you guys. So suppose I am doing research now, so I want to open a Jupyter notebook. You might have to install it by doing pip install Jupyter. Let's see. Yes, so this notebook will now show you the current folder that we're in. So if I go back, you can see I was in users sid. There I opened Jupyter notebook. So basically there you can see that I have it here. That's it guys for today's getting started video. I'll do a Python crash course for those of you who don't know Python. It's very easy, it's like speaking in English, and I'll have a more advanced video for Python coding, which will cover best practices. And like sometimes people will be coding for a certain project, and after 2 months they will come back to that code and they will not be able to understand what they have written. So there is a neat trick in the newer versions of Python where you can specify what kind of inputs and outputs are there. We'll cover that in the best practices in Python video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you like the video. Share with your friends who are interested in AI, and let's have a better future. Stop. If you want to check out more videos and have a discussion or have be involved in a forum that I've created, check out the link in the description to my Discord and meet you there and discuss about AI.